So if you have a block or a book, whatever you might have, maybe an Encyclopedia Britannica from 1982, whatever it might be, just see if you can place it under your sit bones. And we'll take a minute at the start of today's practice for a bit of a meditation. You might like to just feel that length of the spine. Bring your sit bones on the raised platform, whatever it is. And just allow your shoulders to be heavy. You might even like to invite that tiny smile onto the corners of your mouth early on. Just see if there's any parts of the body you can soften and relax. You can close your eyes if you like, but it's not necessary. Quite often in meditation, monks will just kind of gaze on a non-specific object in front of them. You might like to bring the elbows a little closer to the ribs. You might tuck your chin in a little bit. Feel crown of the head lifting up while you also note the heaviness through the sit bones. And you might take a moment just to notice every part of your feet, your legs that are connected to the ground. Every practice, we start where we are. We start who we are with all our sense of imperfections, our thoughts about our body, our ideas about previous illness, stress, trauma, all the conditioning of our lives. We just start exactly where we are. So in today's practice, we're going to be just trying to learn a little bit more about our own bodies. Each of our body is different. The sum of all our experiences, the sum of all our habits, the energy of how we spend each day, what we choose to surround ourselves with, whether it's people or noise, information, all of these things contributes to how our body feels. So let's just start by noticing that. You might scan through the body. If you feel any tension, just make a log in your mind where it might be, whether it's your left elbow or your right shoulder, your neck, your chin, your chest. Just notice wherever you might be holding tension, tightness, soreness, wherever you might be a little stiff. And you might get a sense for the feeling of air on your skin. Warm morning in Melbourne this morning, unusual for this time of year. You might start to notice sounds around you. It might be tweeting of the birds or a hum of an appliance, whatever it might be. Today we focus on self-massage, on myofascial release, this idea of finding knots of tension held in our body and our muscle and moving energy through our fascia, our chi. And this is just a kind of idea of allowing our body to heal itself. Trust that our body knows what to do when we stop getting in the way. And it's also based on this idea that we don't need somebody else to fix us. We're not like a machine that breaks. We're more like a plant that just needs sun, needs good soil, needs food, water, hydration. So often we think of ourselves as a machine, as something broken, and we need to be fixed, maybe by a doctor, by surgery, by drugs, by medicine. But today we might just think of ourselves a little bit more like a house plant in the best possible way. If you feel your mind is busy, just ask yourself, can I be still? What does it feel like just to sit on this day? Four simple rules for enjoying life. First one, we forget about the past. Stop thinking things can go back to how they were. We embrace impermanence, embrace change. Allow ourselves to be here. Second rule, we stop anticipating the future. We stop planning ahead, hoping, dreaming, longing, thinking we need things to be different, thinking we need external conditions to be happy. So we stop planning, stop leaping ahead. Third rule, you've forgotten about the past. If you've stopped anticipating the future, then the third rule is you just allow yourself to be here. Every time your mind leaps forward or back, you just come back to your next breath. What can I notice in this moment? And the fourth and final rule, most important one, you've forgotten about the past, you've stopped anticipating the future, you've become completely present. Last thing to do is just leave your mind alone. When you start judging whatever you're thinking or hoping you'll keep thinking something, just leave your mind alone. Come back to the breath. Whatever thoughts come in, just allow them to be there. No judgment, no sense of good or bad, praise or blame, gain or loss. Whatever is present, let it be there. One of my favorite Tao stories is talks about we're all looking for the ox, the magic ox. I guess oxens were very powerful back then when they fed a whole family and they were a sign of things going well. When you sit in meditation, you look down and you realize you're already sitting on the ox, even though you're looking for it. Can only ever be happy if we arrive right where we are, see ourselves clearly for the first time, allow everything to be as it is. We're going to bring a little bit of breath work into our meditation today. And this is a breath pattern of inhaling for 4, holding the breath for 7, and then exhaling for 8. And we want to inhale through our nose, pause the breath, mouth closed, and then as you sigh out, see if you can purse the lips and just gently blow. And the idea with the exhale is just to really empty every part of the lungs. Get rid of that last bit of carbon dioxide, last bit that we don't need, and then welcome in new oxygen with the next breath. So I'll count through this breath, and you might just start to notice how the body feels when we move, when we have this long out breath. We're activating our vagus nerve, we're moving into rest and digest mode, our body's repair mode, our body's growth mode. You might feel a sense of calm, a sense of ease into the body. Maybe not, but see how you go. You might remind yourself that of the organs in the body, the only one we really control with our conscious mind is our lungs. We can't really choose to change the function of our kidneys, our liver, our heart, our spleen. Any moment of every day, we can control the lungs through the choice of our breath. So I just encourage you, as you follow this breath, shoulders stay heavy, back stay straight, and just bring your attention to the belly, feeling it expand and contract. And in the pause of the breath, you're not so much holding the breath, you're not inviting tension in, you're just waiting a beat or two before you sigh out, purse the lips, blow out. All right, let's empty the lungs to start. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause the breath for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sigh out for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale for 4. Pause the breath. Sigh out for 8. Really feel like you're emptying the lungs. And then we inhale for 4. Pause at the top of the breath. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Pause for 7. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Pause the breath for 7. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. Pause for 7. Sigh it out for 8. And just keep going in your own pattern. You might notice how busy the mind is. You might invite that tiny hint of a smile back to the corners of the mouth. Wherever you feel your mind drift off to, just draw it back to the next breath. There's many ways to enter this rest and digest state. Switch on the vagus nerve. You can do it through breath any time of the day. You can also do it by splashing cold water on your face, or just switching off the hot water at the end of your shower. You can do it by chanting or singing. That vibration in the back of your throat helps switch on the vagus nerve. Even laughing. So you might just start to notice different times of your day when you allow yourself to be calm, to be still. Just what it feels like to invite in this sense of ease and well-being. All right, wherever your mind's taking you, just bring it back into the body. You might like to open your eyes, maybe roll the shoulders. So we're going to do a little bit of self-massage today, and we'll start with head and neck, and then we'll finish with our legs, just moving energy back to our kidneys, getting our energy going for the day ahead. If you need to move around, just move, just change position right now. Like slowly, every day that you meditate, your body gets a little bit more used to being in a seated position and a little bit easier. So even if today is hard, just honor your body, and hopefully the next time will be a little bit easier. Everything in our life is a pattern, is a habit. Our body wants whatever it's had before. So if you haven't sat in meditation, then probably your body won't want that. But you can create a new energy, a new pattern for your life anytime. It's never too late. Let's start by taking our fingers, and we're just going to bring them right up above the top of the neck, and we just want to find those two big bones, the occiput bones, and we're going to press under those bones that allow our neck to be long. You might like to just press into the side of the neck at the top, pressing up and in, and maybe working your way a little bit down the neck. That muscle that bulges out from the side and goes along the top of the shoulder is the trapezius. It's a big muscle. So just notice where that is. And then you might like to just bring a big shrug up to the shoulders. This is our levator scapulae muscle. And maybe roll again. So today we're going to just take a little bit of time on our neck. So this muscle that comes right under the knob under our ear, there's a big bone at the base of our ear, just behind your earlobe, find that one. And then there's a muscle that wraps around, comes down the side of the neck and connects to the top of the middle of your sternum. So let's just try one side. Come down the side of the neck. You might turn your chin around to the side and just follow it down. There's an artery just under the chin that you want to avoid, but you'll know it if you hit it. And just follow this muscle. So we tend to hold a lot of tension in this muscle. It's the sternocleidomastoid, SCM. Bit of a mouthful, very long word. Sure, it's hard to spell, but I don't think I've ever tried. So you might just see if you can find that muscle and maybe hook your hands behind it and just bring a little bit of ease into it as you turn. And let's come to the other side. So trace it just behind the earlobe, down the side of the neck, and it hooks around to the top of where the middle of the sternum is. So if you are not too used to feeling into your own body and noticing where your muscles might be, that's okay. Just take your time and explore. Be a little curious. It's amazing how little we understand about our own bodies, even though our body is with us every day, every hour since we're born. So just take some time and explore. Don't so much worry if you're hitting exactly the right spot or not. Hold so much tension in our body. What can we learn about ourselves today? Okay, so we're going to come back to the original side. So on the side of the neck is a group of muscles called the scalenes. And just like we did with the SCM muscle, we're going to hook our fingers and just see if we can find those scalene muscles, big long muscle that comes down the side of the neck, and just slowly draw them in. So keep your fingers a little bit tense, and you might just turn the chin a little bit more. Just explore. And then we'll slowly come back to the center and we'll come onto the other side. Turn your chin out. Grab a bit of that muscle and just hook it around and just see how that feels. You might feel a little bit of a release. And then we'll take our head to face forward again, roll the shoulders again. And we're going to take our ear down towards the shoulder. Keep that shoulder heavy. You might even like to sit on it or take the hand under your leg. And just let the ear be heavy down to the side. And you might even extend the opposite arm out without moving your head too much. Just look up with your eyes towards the ceiling. You might feel that sternocleidomastoid muscle switch on just a little. Take another breath and let it go. Slowly come back up. Same on the other side. Keep this shoulder heavy. Might tuck it under your leg maybe. Take the ear down towards the shoulder. Keep the shoulder heavy. You might extend the opposite arm out. Just feel that sense of engagement on the outside of your neck. And if you like, just go a little deeper by keeping your head steady, but looking up with your eyes towards the ceiling. So looking out the corner of the eye. Take another breath. And we'll slowly let go. All right, just maybe move through the neck. Just notice how you feel right now. We might lift the hands up above the head, take one hand in the opposite elbow, take a breath, and sigh out, extend it out. Just take a couple of these. All right, we're going to take our right arm out, look towards the right hand, have the palm face up. We'll take a breath in together. As we sigh out, we're going to turn that hand all the way over and turn our neck to look away from the hand. Inhale to look back towards the fingers, turning the palm up. And then exhale, turn away. Flip the hand. So just keep going in your own rhythm with the breath. One more time. And we'll bend this elbow, take that hand behind the neck, and with our other hand, we'll bring our knuckles to the base of the spine and just bring them up. Now, it might be that your hands don't get anywhere near each other. That's okay. Just grab a hold of your shirt or just take a breath there. If your fingers do interlace, bring them together. All our shoulders are a different shape, so just honor your own skeletal shape. Can't do much about that. Take a few breaths here. Lifting that elbow as high as you can. And we'll sigh out, let it go, maybe another roll. Let's extend our left arm wide this time, palm face up, just as we did before. Big breath in. As we sigh out, roll the hand, look away. Inhale to turn back. And exhale, sighing out. One more time. This time, bend the elbow, bring it to the back, just as we did before. Right hand knuckles on the spine, lift them up. Grab a hold of your shirt, whatever you have. Raise that top elbow up. Keep the shoulders as heavy as you can and notice if there's any tension in your jaw, your cheeks. Allow crown of the head to lift up. You might remember in yoga, they call this the Gomukhasana, the cow face. Never understand why. Maybe we all look a little like cows right now. Who knows? One more breath. And we'll take our arms wide. Take a big breath in and then wrap them around. Inhale, open out. Wrap the opposite arm on top if you can. 2 more each side. And just take a minute to notice whether your shoulders, neck feels a little more free. When you're ready, we're going to take out whatever we're sitting on and bring our feet towards each other. Take your thumb, the flat part of your thumb, just underneath the ball of the big toe. And we're going to press in under the foot. This is the Yongquen's point, the start of the kidney meridian, kidney 1. It's the only acupressure point on the bottom of your foot. If you ever have someone stick needles in, that's the point they'll do it. And you just start to take the thumb up the inner arch, so underneath the foot, but towards the inner arch of the foot. This is our kidney meridian line. We're just pressing in with the flat part of the thumb, moving energy up the body. Okay, let's take, you might just wrap your hands around the feet and just roll from side to side. Can be a little playful here. Maybe roll onto one side or the other. If you're feeling adventurous, you might thread the arms underneath and just rock from elbow to elbow. If this doesn't feel good, obviously don't do it. And slowly coming up. All right, we're going to work just massaging up our legs, starting along our kidney line. So right where we were before, underneath the foot, jump over the ankle bone, and then we're coming up the inside line. So find that shin bone, tibia, And just inside the tibia bone, pressing the thumb, working up the inside line of the legs. And we want to be pushing energy up from base of the foot up towards upper body. And then we'll jump over the knee joint, and same on the inside line of the femur bone, the big long bone down the front of your leg. Just pressing in. And let's extend our right leg long. And we're going to take our left foot into the thigh. Take your head over the top of your elbow, and we're going to start by turning our palm down and then rolling until it comes up. And you want the flat part of your arm to be on the inside of the leg, keeping the head over the arm. Just allow your weight. We're using your weight. We're not pressing. We're just allowing the heaviness of our upper body. And we might actually start in this lower part of our leg. You can extend that leg to be bent and just come across with your opposite knee. And if that doesn't feel good, you can also just use your foot. Just explore your body. So we're working along that inside line of the leg. Don't worry if this feels a little strange. Just go with it. Notice how your body feels afterwards. We all have a sense of our chi, our energy sitting in our body. And you might even like to use your foot on top of the other foot, just pressing on top. You might even lift your tailbone up, massaging the bottom of your foot. And then we'll work up the knee. You can use your foot again here if you like. And then back to where we were before, elbow. All right, we're all becoming professional foot masseuses, if that's even a thing. Probably isn't. All right, now take a moment right now just to lift that leg up. Take it next to the other leg and just notice if it feels different. Maybe just rock from side to side. And you might like to lift this foot up, lift the knee up, just open through the hip as well. You don't have to keep the extended leg too fixed. Let it move around. And then we might extend that leg out and we'll come across to the other side. Let's start with that foot in the side. Elbow coming, head over the elbow, and just roll the arm again. Just use your body weight. Don't have to press too much with the arm. All right, and let's move back to the bottom of the body. We might start with our knee into the side. So we're just looking for that sort of mango-y, fleshy part at the back of the body, the calves. And then we might even start with our feet. So just be as curious as you can. Lift your tailbone, press into the foot. You might right now be thinking, this is so much nicer when someone else gives me a massage. But so often when we have a massage, we fall asleep, we stop noticing, our mind drifts away. And just think of this more as an opportunity to learn about your own body, to notice a little more areas that might be stuck or tense. All right, let's lift up this leg, open through the hip. We'll bring that foot down, raise the knees up. We're just going to open the legs from side to side. One last thing to do, we'll come down onto our elbows, take a little mountain of knuckle, thumb on the outside, and just roll it under your glutes, under the fleshy part of your butt cheek. And you might just open the knee out. Keep breathing. And if you'd like to go deeper here, you might lift the leg and just explore a little bit. Opening through that hip joint. And when you're ready, just come onto the other side. Open the leg out. Roll onto the knuckles. If you want to go deeper, you might lift the tailbone up. You might extend the leg. All right, let's come back up. We're going to pull a bit of flesh away from our tailbone and just let our toes curl back towards the body. Sigh out, let the head be heavy. Just that last bit of energy moving up the back of the legs, our bladder meridian, our hamstrings. Head just stays heavy. And then when you're ready, let's take our legs behind the body, both legs behind. We're just going to draw our head down, extend the arms long, just come into a child's pose. Take a moment to feel your belly expand into the thigh. Take a few breaths here. And we'll take our hands under the shoulders, slowly press ourselves up. And let's just roll the shoulders again. We'll bring our hands to heart center. Take a moment to maybe notice how your neck feels, notice how your hips and leg feel, just this idea of moving energy around. Just trusting our body's intuition to heal, helping us have awareness of our habit energy. Just feel palm pressing into palm. You might feel the thumbs resting against middle of the chest, this acupressure point called the Sea of Tranquility. Point for calm, for ease. We bring our hands to heart center, gesture of humility. Acknowledging we can only change ourselves, not the rest of the world. We can only control our own habits, not those of others. Whenever you're ready, just bow your head to each other, just acknowledging shared energy of practice each day.